What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I've got another video for you guys today. Another one sent to me by a friend who wants to know my thoughts. Guys, you know what I do here? I give marriage advice to young people or people who are married, just so that we can navigate this current day where marriage is under attack, family is under attack. You know, everybody thinks marriage is basically obsolete. And we're trying to navigate that because we believe that marriage, well, I believe that marriage is a very important part of our society and our faith, especially for young people who are coming up, and we don't want them getting into this battle, should I say, of the red pill versus the feminism, where they're all telling you don't get married, be alone, die alone. Before I do that, guys, please leave a like, comment, and sub if you enjoy my content. If you agree or disagree with my view on the video I'm about to show you, please let me know in the comments below as well. Let's check out today's video.
So I get this comment a lot. It says, now I understand why your Indian parents disowned you.
What?
And in case you're new here and you don't know, I'm Indian. My parents are Indian. My husband is clearly not Indian.
Okay, that's all.
Every time they pull me right back in.
So my parents didn't disown me. If anything, I separated myself from them. Now, the reason being is, although my parents want to have a relationship with me, they do not really want to have a relationship with my children. And all the past and everything combined, my trust level for my parents around my kids is like that.
She's the one who made the decisions.
Okay.
She didn't get disowned because they still want to be a part of her life. She made the decision to step away for her peace and for the well-being of all the kids.
If you're not going to treat one of my kids the same as all of my kids, you don't need to be around my kids.
Wait, she said all my kids as one of my kids. So it sounds like one of her kids is probably a different race, or maybe from a different father, and they probably prefer that one kid over her other kid. And I don't know how many kids she has. Maybe she has 2 or 3. But in terms of the point that she made, it is really interesting that this video was sent to me, because it is something that I've had to deal with myself. I do think it's necessary, especially if you are the one in a position, especially the man, should I say, to protect his wife. If for any reason there's some form of attack, or people being all up in your business, attacking your family, using words, and especially if those words affect your wife or your kids negatively. So every time they meet this person or see this person, they never go away happy. They always go away having been tormented somewhat by words. You ain't never gonna amount to nothing, or you married the wrong person, or your wife is this, or if you have to go through that all the time when you meet this person, I recommend cutting them off. And I don't say cutting them off like people mean cutting them off. You know, when people say cutting them off, they normally basically completely, like, this person will never exist in your life. What I mean is boundaries. So if somebody, whenever they see you, whenever they meet your wife or your children, actively see them speaking negative words to them that actively affect them, you need to approach those people and you need to say, if you continue to do this, you cannot have a relationship with me or my whatever, my family, my kids, whatever, because you, as the husband or the mother, must protect your family. So I understand where she's coming from. There is another line though. There's a fine line here. So when people are talking about parents disowning them, a lot of times parents disown children because they went outside of their rules and regulations, if that makes sense, or their culture. Or we have an Indian young lady who married a black man. Look, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a real thing. It still happens right now in Africa. It happens right here in the UK. It happens in America. The cultural divide is real. Don't let anybody tell you that in itself is a racism thing. I don't see it as a racism thing. I think every single race does this. Black people marry black people. White people marry white people. Indians marry Indians. When it happens that people go outside of that, it challenges our thought, like, wait a minute, you're not following the norm. That's what I believe happens. In some cases, let me not be too broad. In some cases, it is due to racism. In most cases, especially, look, even just in African culture alone, take away white people, take away Indians, and so on. Just in African cultures alone, let's say in Nigeria, when a Yoruba person tries to marry an Igbo person, it's a problem. They're both black, but they have such a cultural difference. We've had such a history of, I guess, disliking each other as a people, like, which is, again, it's something that's happened over the ages. It causes an issue. That's not even a race thing. That's just a people thing. What we would like to happen is that for that to not happen at all. However, I think this is something that has been part of our civilization, our cultures for so long. When these type of things happen, where somebody tries to marry outside of their race, eyebrows get raised. I don't think it's right, but it is what it is. But I don't think it's racism. That's my view. Having said that, though, I do believe that children do get disowned by parents sometimes because they go outside of the status quo. And in my opinion, I don't think that in itself is right either, because then you get these type of situations where you're never going to be part of your grandchildren's life. You're never going to be part of your child's life anymore. What we should be doing is you raise your child up to a point. The child becomes an adult. Now you need to let that child navigate life on his own with very minimum guidance. Like when I teach people various skills, when I teach them up to a certain point, I say, after this point, I'm not teaching you anymore. You take that skill and you go and develop it, do what you want with it, create your own style, create your own form, if that makes it. Like, we talk about martial arts a lot. When the master teaches a student, the student takes that style and develops his own and becomes his own type of martial arts master. That's how we're meant to be as parents. We raise our child up to a point of the age of accountability. Most people say that's 18 because that's the age where people deem young people as adults. And from that point on, with minimum guidance, doesn't mean you don't guide them. You still give them some guidance, but you don't treat them like they're 8-year-old. You don't treat them like they're 14. You treat them like, I've given you everything you need now. Go and, dominate the earth and do whatever you want to do. And I'm here as your parent, as your father, as your mother. If you need advice, I'm your dad, I'm your mom. That's what we should be doing. But unfortunately, parents parent beyond beyond the time. The child is 30-year-old and you're still treating him as if it's 14. So that's what I think the issue is here. And when your children make decisions, if it's wrong, your job is to say it's wrong, but you don't do it in a way where you penalize them. They're not kids anymore. They're not children. They're now adults. So what you do is you say, look, you've made this decision yourself. I don't agree with it, but you're an adult, right? Because the consequences of those decisions, you would deal with yourself. And when you start dealing with those consequences, I'm still your parent. I'm still your mom or your dad. If you need help, come to me. If I'm your father, I'm still going to give you the bollocking. I'm still going to be like, I told you, you didn't listen, but you're still my son. I'm still going to be like, okay, come back, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's see, where did we go wrong? Off you go again. That's what we should be doing. But unfortunately, again, like I said, cultural differences, children being, sometimes children can be difficult children to their parents. This leads to all sorts of conflicts, which leads to parents disowning their child. In this day and age, I don't think this happens a lot as much as it used to now, because I think some parents have grown wiser now and they've realized, if I disown my child, I'm basically disowning everything about them, which means I can't have a relationship with them or their husband, wife, and children, which means my lineage gets lost, if that makes sense. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think this lady was right to cut off her family for the sanity of her family? Do you think the family are being racist because of the comment made about one of the children versus the other children? Do you think parents disowning children for marrying outside their race is a racism thing or a cultural thing? Whatever the case may be, guys, do let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I do think this particular topic is very, very interesting. thing. And I do agree that parents can be a little bit extra when it comes to these things in cultural stuff, because when you don't follow culture, it kind of brings shame based on the cultural presence of our parents. I'm talking about, like, even in Britain, it's like that. Guys, don't think this is just an African thing or an Indian thing, or this happens in the Western world. It happens everywhere. I can't call it racist because I know in my country we have the same skin and we still do this. So I really don't, that's why I can't compute it as racism, if that makes sense. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you guys watching my video. I'll see you on the next one.